All right, Texas just passed school vouchers into law, and somewhere in the afterlife, Milton Friedman is doing backflips while holding a Don't Tread on Me lunchbox. Governor Greg Abbott, bless his reformer heart, has been championing school choice like it's the educational version of Uber Eats. You pick your school, the state picks up the tab. Except instead of fries and a milkshake, it's $10,000 in taxpayer cash to fund juniors' journey through algebra at a school with a Latin motto and a fencing team. The plan is called an education savings account because voucher sounds like something you use to get free breadsticks at Olive Garden, and we can't have that. No, this is school reform, Texas style, big, bold, and controversial enough to make both sides of the aisle break out in ideological hives. Now let's give credit where credit is due. The idea behind this is actually pretty noble. Give families more control over their kids' education, especially when public schools are struggling harder than a Prius climbing a West Texas hill. I respect that impulse, as a libertarian. Choice is my bread and butter, even if I usually have to pack it myself. But here's the rub. This choice comes at a price, namely the public school budget. You remember public schools, right? The ones that still have asbestos in the ceiling and textbooks last updated during the Reagan administration. But it's not all doom and gloom. They did pass an $8.5 billion package to boost teacher salaries and pay for utilities, which in Texas means keeping the AC on during those charming 113-degree Septembers. But critics say the process was murkier than a Houston floodplain and lacked the kind of transparency you'd want when handing over billions. Call me old-fashioned, but if I'm signing off on $8.5 billion, I'd like to see a receipt, maybe a pie chart, and definitely fewer surprise amendments than a Vegas wedding. Opponents, including Democrats and rural Republicans, which is basically the political equivalent of seeing cats and dogs forming a jazz trio, are worried this will drain the already emaciated public system. And I can't say they're wrong. Because while $1 billion went to vouchers and another $8.5 billion went to public education, the per-student funding bump in the public system, a glorious $55, which means that each student now gets enough extra funding to maybe buy a new 3-ring binder, on clearance, if Staples is having a sale and you know a guy. To their credit, the House wanted $395 per student. The Senate countered with, here's a shiny nickel and a laminated pledge. So yeah, we're giving private schools a first-class ticket while public schools are back in the economy praying that their tray tables work. Bottom line, I get it. Parents want options. Vouchers can work if implemented smartly. But if we're not investing equally in the schools that 90% of kids still attend, then we're not offering choice. We're offering a clearance rack and calling it a boutique. So let's have the conversation. Let's pilot programs. Let's debate models. But let's not pretend we can shrink public funding and improve outcomes. That's not school choice. That's choosing not to do the math.